Welcome, guys, back to the I Love Wrestling podcast. I'm your host, as always, Justin Woolwine, and we are back with the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Mike Santana. How we doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited. We had a conversation back right before Slamversary,
Yep,
um,
yep.
when the whole world thought you was going to become champion, and now you are here with the title. What an honor it is to have you on the show, my friend.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Let's dive in deep. Like I said, last time we talked was just before Slammiversary, where you
Yep.
did have that TNA title in your grasp, but it was taken by Trick Williams. How important do you think that match and night was to your journey, getting you to the top of the mountaintop in TNA?
Oh, it was definitely needed. I always said I look at every obstacle as an opportunity, right? Opportunity to learn, an opportunity to use that obstacle to continue fueling the fire, and that's exactly what it did. Especially the fact that I had like it was embarrassing getting so close and having it ripped away from me in front of my city, in front of my family that was there, and having to console my daughter after that match. Like that night definitely did something to me, and it ultimately got me to Bound for Glory. And I told myself walking into Bound for Glory that I refuse to have the same thing happen the second time, and I fought my heart out, and you know the rest.
Definitely. We hear all the time, what makes a champion is the ability to lose, and then what you do after the loss.
Yeah.
So losing at Slammiversary, I'd have to assume just made it motivation for you to get to the next moment, which would end up being Bound for Glory, where you finally captured the TNA title.
Yep.
What were your feelings to be able to post match celebrate alongside your daughter?
That to me is a moment that's going to be with me for the rest of my life. I said it before, like that title win was a thank you to her and the rest of my family and everyone that supported me in getting me there. Like if you know the story, like she's the one that saved my life. She's the one that helped me open my eyes and realize that hey, like I'm I'm gonna end up losing everything, and everything culminated in that night, and it was a big thank you to her, and I felt like it was only right because that title does it belonged to her, and it's definitely a moment that I think probably one of the best moments in wrestling today. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it was everywhere. So many people hit me up, and so many people saw it, and but yeah, and it was special. It was definitely special.
Did she give you any feedback afterwards about how important it was for you to be able to hand that title to her like you promised?
She, she, first, like watching it back, I was so surprised at how comfortable she was in the ring.
Definitely.
Um, and that kind of scared me. But, but no, she was, to hear my daughter tell me that she's proud of me is like, I, I could retire tomorrow and I'll know that like I did it. I've made it. Like that's it. And but of course, there's still a lot more to go. But yeah, like she was just telling me that she's proud of me, and and it's crazy. She's so smart and so like wise for her age. She straight up was like, "Hey, now the work starts," you know, and she's awesome, man. So like I'm thankful that I have something that is going to outlive me and that she's gonna forever have even after I'm gone, and she's gonna be able to show her kids later down the line and stuff like that. So it's pretty awesome.
We talked earlier a little bit about your Slammiversary loss, and now we're talking about the Bound for Glory win. The reaction after Slammiversary was pretty much unanimous. Everybody expected you to walk out champion,
Yeah.
and we didn't get that. And then at Bound for Glory, we finally get that moment. Do you think it was important for you to not get it at Slammiversary to make the Bound for Glory moment even more special?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. And again, going back to what I said earlier, it was like it was necessary in getting me to Bound for Glory. And it was necessary in motivating me to get there. And like I had a fire lit before Slammiversary. But after Slammiversary, it was like more gasoline was thrown on that fire, you know. So yeah, it was definitely needed.
You know, Kazarian would end up calling his shot immediately on the following episode of Impact.
Yep.
How did it feel that night? How did you feel overall about the reaction to you losing the title so quickly?
I was crushed. I'll be honest, like I was crushed. I didn't know how to feel at first. It was just something that especially after having the moment that I did with my daughter just 30 days before, you know, and like I think that's why everything happened the way it did after that happened because like I needed to take time to myself and get myself in check and um yeah, it was definitely crushing, but thankfully throughout my journey, I've learned, you know, a special set of tools to help me maneuver through situations like that, right? And instead of self sabotaging, I try to look at, all right, how am I going to learn now? How am I going to use this now? The same way that I used Slammiversary to get me to Bound for Glory, I was like, all right, I got to try to find a positive in this so that I could use it to get me back to where I need to get to. And I took some time to myself, got my thoughts in order because one thing I've learned is the worst thing you can do is react off of emotion, and that's what I didn't want to do. So I took the time, I strategized, and here I am.
Absolutely. You know, as we record this, the next episode of Impact is going to consist of the return of Feast or Fired,
Yep.
which obviously one of those briefcases has a title shot in it. Nick Nemeth has his call your shot. Uh, what does it mean to have all these potential looming figures over you in this next reign for your TNA World title?
I think you know, for me personally, becoming champion, I knew I was very conscious of the fact that the biggest target is on my back, and if anything, that's what motivates me. It prevents me from being complacent, right? And I know
Yeah.
that I've lived my entire life with keeping my head on a swivel, and that doesn't change. You know what I mean? If anything, it enhances it, and I'm thankful that we have a roster full of hungry guys that are shooting for the top. Because even when I came back in April of 24, I said I'm shooting for the top spot and I made damn sure that I got there. So I can't get mad at someone else that's trying to do the same thing. You know what I mean? If anything, I
Yeah.
welcome it. So whoever it is, let's get it.
So, I mean, with that said, is there anybody that you would like to see end up with that title shot?
Um, of course. I mean, you know, I have a storied history with Mustafa Ali, which you know, we have a great chemistry even though we hate each other. Another one is Steve Macklin. That would definitely be another great title defense. Um, who else? Moose, another person that I have a history with, who's a tenured guy here in TNA. Another one is Eddie Edwards, another tenured guy who's one of the very best, who I feel doesn't get enough credit. You know, he's definitely one of the best wrestlers and has been for so long. I mean, yeah, the list goes on, man. But again, like I said, I know what I've gotten myself into being champion, and I welcome it, and I thrive in this environment.
This next question is going to be like, I know a lot of people don't want to see anybody get fired, but if you had to pick who gets that fired briefcase, who don't you want to see in TNA?
Damn. I don't know, man.
That's
That's
a
a
tough
tough
one.
one. Yeah, it's a tough one. It definitely is because I feel like everyone offers something.
Yes.
Every everyone is in TNA for a reason. Everyone is handpicked for a reason. So I think that's a question I can't even answer because everyone brings a little bit of something to the team. So yeah,
I like the respectfulness of the answer. I like that. I like that. You've been a pivotal part of TNA on this road to the debut on AMC.
yeah.
What was your reaction to the whole TNA AMC deal and the path for you guys to get there?
Ah man, my reaction was I was like, finally, I was just happy at the fact that a lot of people now we're going to be on a bigger platform and a lot more people are going to be able to see what TNA has to offer, right? I feel like TNA for a long time has been like lingering in the shadows almost.
Yeah.
And now with such a great platform like AMC, more eyes, more exposure, and more opportunities to tell great stories. So definitely a lot of excitement. And as far as the road to get there, man, like I could honestly say, like when I came in 24, it was literally uh maybe 2.5 months after the name change back to TNA. So I like to say I was there from the start. This was
Yeah.
I came back even before the whole TNA WWE partnership.
Hmm.
So um yeah, man, just being a part of the whole process to get us here and seeing the growth and just how hard everyone has worked is it's amazing, and I'm definitely blessed to be a part of this team.
And I mean, so far, I'm going to say you guys have knocked it out of the park, especially with that debut episode, ending it with yourself versus Frankie Kazarian for the world title. Um,
Yeah,
what did it mean to not only main event the first episode on AMC, but to also walk out as a two-time champ?
huge deal. I mean, like I said before, Frankie and I have a lot of history together, and also you saw two generations of TNA wrestling going head to head, not just for the TNA World Title, but for the new era of this company. And I feel like it was a true like passing of the torch almost, right? And the fact that I get to be this face and this guy going into the new era, it's a huge responsibility. It's a lot of pressure, but again, I welcome it, and I'm thankful to be in this position. This like for me, whoever gets into this business and you're not striving for the top and striving to be in the position that I'm in, then what are we doing it for? So it's definitely important, definitely something that I'm proud of. And again, the work is just starting.
With that said, I mean, I'm going to assume got Kazarian out of the picture. You defeated him at Genesis.
Mhm.
And now as champion, how do you take the reins and guide TNA through this new era on AMC?
I think by continuing to elevate TNA as much as possible and also bring it back to the essence of like back then TNA was very known for its excitement and its professional wrestling. When you saw TNA, you saw some of the best athletes, you saw some of the best matches, and I just want to bring it back to that, and make sure that everyone on the card, top to bottom, is bringing out the absolute best. And for me, is not just saying it, it's showing it. So every time I'm on camera, every time I'm given the opportunity to be in that ring or be on a microphone, I'm going to make sure that it's the absolute best that I could put out. And that for me is setting the example for everyone else, right? I was always taught to maximize your minutes. And when you're given time is money. And when you're given time, you better make the most of it. So yeah, I just want everybody to continue elevating themselves, continue elevating the brand, and if we could continue that, then we're in for a good one.
Definitely, definitely. On the debut episode, we saw a lot of returns. We saw a lot of surprises. One thing that was announced, though, was AJ Styles being a part of the show. You guys
Yeah,
even had some interaction. Um,
yeah.
as of now, what is the probability that we get that one-on-one between yourself and Styles?
Uh, I a lot of people are asking, and for me, I've said it before. I want to do everything that I can to make that match a reality. So, um, that interaction that him and I had, that was a step in the right direction. And it got a great reaction.
Yes,
People online were like, "Oh my God, like this needs to happen." So that's a good look so far. So hopefully we get to make it happen and give the fans what they want.
definitely, definitely. TNA is making its rounds all over the states, Atlanta, Albuquerque. But the one that kind of interests me the most, if I'm being completely honest, is you guys are returning to TNA's original home in Nashville.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on being able to carry that championship into TNA's old stomping grounds?
I was having this conversation earlier actually. I was like, man, it's so awesome that we're in this new era and we're heading back to TNA country to Nashville, It's a huge deal and I think it's going to be an exciting time for the fans there, of course, because they've seen TNA grow since day one, right? And they've been a part of that process. So I'm excited. Everyone is excited, and I can't wait to do it. I think that's our next loop, February 13th, 14th, I believe. So,
Yep. Guys, I want to say thank you for one, Mike, for joining us.
yep,
Everybody, make sure to grab your tickets for the Nashville shows coming February 13th, 14th in Atlanta, March 5th and 6th, New
yep.
Orleans, the March 27th, 28th. Mike, I just want to say once again, congratulations. It's been an incredible road you getting here. I can't wait to do another one of these, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me, and take care of yourself, man.